Hello, this is the Heavy Revival, a podcast about all things heavy music. This is Rufus.
Yo.
And I'm Joe. And today we've got a very special guest joining us, Lewis from Kill the Snitch, who's going to be talking about his recent EP that just released. So without further ado, would you like to say your weekly plug?
So my shout out for this week is going to be the Detroit hardcore band Vigilante. They dropped a new EP late last year called Fear of Defeat, and it's really great, just really great, straight up metalcore / hardcore. If you're into that sort of thing, you should definitely check them out. And even if you're not into that sort of thing, broaden your horizons a little bit. Check it out. The first track on the EP, Heart is Cold with Cold as Life. It's a great song. Yeah.
Awesome. So my plug for this week is a band called Horde. They are from Ottawa. They're like a noise rock / sludge metal band. A few standout tracks for me are Quitter's Fight Song and Daddy's Money. Their most recent EP was produced by the same guy that did Foo Fighters. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty popular, but like I can plug them because they're not popular enough. They need to get more popular, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And come to the fucking UK.
Please!
This is Lewis.
Hello.
Kill the Snitch. They've just released their first EP. Is it an album?
Is it an
It
album?
is an album.
Oh, okay, fine.
Technically, it's an album
Fine.
because more than like 6, 7 songs. Or
Okay,
like
fine.
that. I don't know, but yeah. So apparently, it's an album. That's what Spotify tells me. Like,
Fair enough.
really, it's an EP because it's only like 20 minutes. So
Either way.
yeah,
It's a great 20 minutes.
yeah. I appreciate that.
So, would you like to introduce the band?
Yeah, it's just Kill the Snitch, post-hardcore, screamo, whatever the fuck. I don't know what genre it is. It's just a genre where people scream and there's loud guitars. Pretty much started February. That's when the band started, but we all met kind of previously beforehand and stuff like that. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. What was were you going to ask him about how the band met?
Well, I mean, it's already...
Yeah.
I mean, how did you meet?
So I met Jade, our bassist, through Join My Band. If you don't know what it is, it's a website forum where basically people basically go, oh, I'm looking for this, or I'm wanting to start this, or whatever like that, and then you kind of link your own demos and stuff like that. And Jade, I made like a bunch of SoundCloud sort of stuff, just demos and shit. I was just making in my room, and I just was like, fuck it, and then I put it on Join My Band and was like, I'm looking to start a band. And then Jade messaged me, and then we had a previous drummer who was my best mate, or still is my best mate, not was, and he couldn't continue the band because of work commitments and stuff like that. But that was a very different band back then. It was more like kind of like weird, heavy indie. Like it was really strange. It wasn't really shoegaze or anything like that, but it was just this weird, heavy indie, which was cool. But when Tom, our current drummer, joined the band, it was like, okay, we're going more of the hardcore route. We're going more of the heavier route and stuff like that. And I've known Tom probably about 3-4 years or something like that, because we met at a music venue that I used to work at. Well, I mean, when I first went there, I wasn't working there, but I was just like a punter pretty much, and got to know him there, and we did a bunch of jams together. We played a bunch, like, you know, every week or every day pretty much. It was just sort of like, let's do a jam, let's have a little fun, because the venue was very like loose and like kind of like as soon as the band stopped playing, like the booked bands, then it was kind of like, oh, should we just get up and play like, you know, Jimi Hendrix song or something like that, like something stupid, and we would get up there and just jam, and it was good fun. And then that's how me and Tom kind of got to know each other. And then I was in a R&B sort of rock band.
Nice.
Starting out as like a bassist, as like my first sort of debut in like a band situation. And it was fun. It was like it taught me a lot about like, you know, key changes and time signatures and stuff like that, because we were that type of band, like just sort of doing whatever the fuck we want. And the guitarist was like very much like, oh, let's do something interesting, you know. And so it was cool. And then slowly but surely joined multiple different bands. All of them kind of fizzled apart because principal songwriters left or people weren't into it anymore. And then basically Kill the Snitch was my frustration of that. It was me getting annoyed at writing all this good music, and then it kind of fizzles out and becomes nothing. And then it's like, I'm sat there being like, well, I'm not doing anything now. This is really annoying. And then people have actually said to me, they're like, oh, any new bands yet? And I'm like, dude, like just because I've mentioned it like every other week that I'm in a new band or doing something in the industry, it was just like very annoying. And then Kill the Snitch was like that spawn of like me getting annoyed and me picking up the guitar for once and playing songs and stuff like that. So
I think you can tell there's like other stuff than just the screamo and the post-hardcore.
Definitely, yeah.
Especially, I think it's in Muggy Room. There's
Yeah.
like a jazz interlude. It's like really cool. And I was like, this is these guys are experienced. You can tell you guys know what you're doing in terms of like music theory and stuff like that.
No,
Okay.
no, genuinely, it's we understand roughly. Like I don't know music theory. I can't tell you one scale from. I know the pentatonic scale. That's all I know. Like I don't know any other, anything else. But it's just sort of like you kind of have an ear for it. Like you play something, you go, that doesn't sound quite as right, and then you kind of mess around with it because we write all of our stuff in the rehearsal room.
Yeah,
we don't write a whole song. Well, I say that, but Luna was like written all solely by me, like guitar wise and the structure. And then I brought it to the guys and I was like, we're not changing this song at all. It's staying the way it is, and whatever. But all the rest of the song, it's kind of like someone has a riff, someone has an idea. And then because me and Tom, we live quite close to each other, he'll always come to mine and then we'd go to rehearsal together. And while we're on the train, we'll talk ideas and we'll talk things like that. And then when we get to rehearsal, we talk to Jade and trying to stuff like that. Muggy Room was written in like the peak summer heat, in a rehearsal room that was not air conditioned at all.
Nice.
And that's why it's called Muggy Room, because it was just so fucked. And I wrote the song originally. That song was written for my other band, Big Smoke.
Okay.
But those guys were like, they wasn't too sure about, the song itself. So I was like, well, if you don't like it, then I can just give it to Kill the Snitch. Like it's no biggie. And then that jazz interlude, I don't even know when it came about. It was just sort of like, should we just do it? Like it's just like sort of fun. Like fuck it, why not? So yeah, but also like just another thing of just everyone in the band obviously we all love our like the album that we all basically say that is our favorite album is the first My Chemical Romance album. We love that album, and so that's like kind of like our like point of like anchor of like we all love that album. But then Jade likes, she likes the more 90s screamo and like sort of like she listens to a black metal like Eastern band like from I can't remember the country for my life, and it's gonna be terrible when this episode comes out because I can't remember. But yeah, it was like really cool weird stuff and like really like sort of like types of weirdness and stuff like that. And then Tom's more into that sort of knock loose hardcore. He's also into sludge and like stoner rock. And then I'm more into like I've gotten into like people like Joji and like sort of emo rap and stuff like that. And then I'm also into sort of like like shoegaze, metalcore, like melodic death metal sort of stuff like that. So we all kind of like vaguely come from the same area of heavy music and stuff like that, but we all kind of have our own little flavors that add different things and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really funny because when you like listen to a release from an album or from a band that you've only heard live, and it's like you just recognize the songs because like when I listened to Muggy Room for the first time, I was like, oh, this is the jazz song. Because I've seen you guys live twice and played it both times.
I mean, like, our whole set is just our album at this point right now. Like whatever song. I mean, there was that one song that we did do. It was called Nice and Proper. It was like a working name, but we kind of liked it a lot. And it was that weird sort of funky verse sections. And it was really cool. But we were ultimately decided it wasn't going to be on this album because we weren't particularly happy with the midsection. Like we liked everything up until the midsection. And then we were kind of like, it kind of falls apart a little bit. So we decided to can that song a little bit and then bring it back hopefully later on when we've decided to rewrite it or stuff like that. But
nice.
Yeah, we just fuck around with it really. Like we just do whatever. Like if it makes like, a lot of people say this, but I hold the same opinion. If it makes you laugh when you're writing it, it's probably a good song. Yeah. Like if you genuinely, I was like, I know bands like Knock Loose, they hold that mantra of like, and like Kublai Khan and like Peeling Flesh, like they are obviously they're more hardcore beatdown bands and like a bit slam and stuff like that, but they kind of hold the same idea of like, if it genuinely makes me like cackle and like laugh and like makes it silly, then generally people are going to have a good reaction to it. And I definitely would have more fun playing it just because it's so stupid or something weird or whatever like that.
Nice. So I was going to ask you about your band's influences, but you kind of already answered that.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, like, how have those bands helped you like pave your sound and your like overall aesthetic?
I mean, our overall sound is not really a sound. We're not trying to emulate a sound. It's kind of like we listen to bands and we like bands, and maybe, you know, we have like a section like, oh, we could do a, you know, like it'll be a random. I'm just trying to think of like a section, like a band we can think of that's like very like, oh, like this is just, oh, for example, in Fuck Charlie, the old bridge used to be very different to what it is now. The old bridge, I basically just ripped off Macedon. I basically just ripped them off, and then Jay did something underneath it that sounded way better. And I was like, "Oh, we're just doing that. Like, I don't want to just rip off Macedon. Like, I just want to do what you're doing." But it was just sort of like we play things and just go like, "Oh, like this is cool," but like I couldn't tell you exactly what we were not trying to emulate anything. We're just doing our own thing and just being like, oh, well, this sounds like fun. This could be fun, you know? And like, yeah, like I hold the opinion in this band, at least, like no idea is a bad idea. It's just very dependent on the context that we use it, you know what I mean? Like, and, you know, someone might come up with a riff that sounds cool or sounds weird or, you know, something like that, but it's just like, oh, well, like it might not work for this song, but it might work for a song that we write in the future or something like that.
So you have like a nice bank of things to come back to.
Yeah, in a way. Like, hello. This was my alarm. Fucking, right, go away. Anyway, yeah. That's really ruined my train of thought. Yeah, like we have a large bank of things to go to. And then like a lot of the time it's kind of like for example, Tom has this guitar riff because we all play, like me and Tom, like he plays guitar, he plays bass. He's an amazing guitarist, an amazing bassist, you know, probably the most talented person in the band, like just really good at all the instruments he plays. And then, you know, I play a bit of drums, I play bass and guitar and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's nice because Tom might have a riff that he's like, oh, let's try this riff out. And then he'll present the riff, and it's like not just like, you know, the drummer's not relegated to just doing drum beats.
Yeah.
Same with the bassist. Like she might not be able to, like, she's like, you know, she might give vocal ideas, or she might be like, oh no, let's try this, you know. And I'm not like very stingy with that fact. Like we're all a band, and it's all of our songs, you know. So if someone has an idea or someone has something that they want to present, I'm not going to sit there being like, well, you're the bassist, so like you can't bring an idea forward. So I just don't like that sort of like I guess limitation. Like if someone has a good idea, then why not, like just do it. Like there's no point in having like sort of like, I guess, ego come into it of being like, oh well, I'm the person, so we should do this. And it's like, no, it's more like everyone's choice sort of thing. If everyone thinks it's a good idea, then it probably is a good idea. So
and that's a good way to get like a melting pot of all your different influences.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like me and Jade, like a lot of my riffs, at least initially, started out of like sort of depressive black metal sort of stuff. And even though I don't listen to any depressive black metal, it's just what I write for some reason. And same with Jade. Like Jade likes writing a bit of like sort of black metal-y sort of riffs. But because we're all like, I think it's a little bit like we're all emos and we write distorted music, so naturally it goes to black metal in a way. So yeah, like it's just a good like range of like, we could do different things and different sounds and stuff like that. That's why every song on the album is so different, because one, I don't like repeating myself really, like in terms of like songs. And if a song sounds very similar to a previous song, it's like, okay, well, we've already done this, like there's no point continuing to do it. So yeah, every song was just, over the course of about 8 months, we wrote the entire album pretty much.
Nice.
Pretty much just going into a rehearsal studio every week, every Sunday. We'd always go to a rehearsal studio. We, even if we know the set, like even now, like we've just come out of Christmas and stuff like that, and we've already got 2 new songs that we're ready to sort of start writing and stuff like that. 2 of them are finished. It's just we need to write lyrics for it and get it in our head. But we're probably going to meet up every week and just sort of play the set and then write new songs, and then hopefully our cycle will be like releasing an album pretty much every year, hopefully, if we keep going at the pace we're going, pretty much. which is yeah, it's good. I'm
What
going
was
on
the
tangents, so.
what was the recording process for the album?
In a shed. It was in a shed
Nice.
in Woodford by this 70-year-old man called Chris. Lovely man. He's like a proper granddad. Like you know, he's played music all his life. You know, he's known all the he's supposedly known all these people that he from the 80s and stuff like that. And yeah, it was literally we went in there. It was none of the albums clicked. There's no metronome. It's all just us playing it. And the way we did it is have recorded the drums, and then me and Jade went DI'd into his headphones. We played with him, and then when we go, that's a good take, then Jade would re-record her bass over it, and then I'd re-record my guitars over it, and then we'd do the vocals last. And that was pretty much the process for every song. We got the drums done in like 2 days, 3 days, something like that. Guitars and bass and stuff like that, that was done in like a day or two. And then the vocals was done in like a day or two or something like that. But the bulk of it was mixing it. That was like a long, like the whole process of, playing it, recording it, mixing it, and mastering it after the end. Only took about like a week or something like that, because we were just very much like on it to get it done pretty much.
Nice.
It was very chill, very, very like, super not stressful at all. That interlude was the interlude on the album was not a song we wrote previously. It was an idea I had while I was on the train to the studio, and I was like, "Oh, let's do this." And it was solely written in the studio. We did it in one take, and we were just like, "Fuck it." We did it in one take, and we were very happy with it. And then we just was like, "Fuck it, that's gonna be an interlude," sort of thing. Because I wanted the idea I had initially was there's a band called Enter Shikari, which is like,
oh, we saw them already.
yeah, so good. They're like probably one of my main influences for anything like. But they do their first album, Take to the Skies. They do a bunch of reprises and stuff like that, with like a repeating slogan and stuff like that. And I basically wanted to replicate that pretty much.
Yeah.
I basically was just like, let's just do that, because Kill the Snitch comes before it. Just everyone screams "Kill the Snitch" pretty much, and then just go for it. And then that's what the interlude is pretty much. It was just sort of something we did on the day, and it's fun. Why not? I don't know if we would ever play it live, but it's a fun little thing to break up everything.
Nice, man. Yeah. That's cool.
I did want to ask about "Fuck Charlie."
Yeah.
Because we had a little bit of a joke in Forgotten Sentiment that you wrote it about our guitar.
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. I did see that on like a comment being like, I think I saw Charlie post saying like, "Oh, why did you say fuck me for?" Like, and I thought it was funny. I was like, that is jokes. But no, "Fuck Charlie" is about. It was all the lyrics were written by Tom, and it was about his sobriety from cocaine. It's like a big anti-drug song, pretty much, and because he was in a very low place last year, I'm not gonna, spread his laundry, I guess, but it was just, he was in a very low place last year, and it was kind of due to cocaine, and so now he's much better. He has more of a healthier sort of dynamic with cocaine in general and stuff like that. So that's basically what that song is about. It's basically just. It's very, if you read the lyrics, it's very like self-deprecating. It's very much like, I'm a loser. Like I do these drugs and I fuck over the people I love just because I want cocaine, something like that. So that's basically what that song is. And we just said the song was called "Fuck Charlie" because it would be funny, because if someone was called Charlie, they'd think the song was about them.
Nice.
And then yeah. So it was kind of like funny, like, oh, if I get to do "Fuck Charlie," because if you say "fuck cocaine," it's like, oh, it's very on the nose. But "Fuck Charlie," like. It's British slang for fucking cocaine, you know what I mean? So, thought it'd be funny to do.
The bit at the end where it's like, "Fuck Charlie, wanker."
It
actually sounds like you're talking about a guy.
Yeah. That was the intention. That was very much the intention. We were just having fun with it in the studio, and we were just like, fuck around, whatever. It was very fun to record everything, to be honest with you. We had a good time. Like, it was just, everyone was just goofing off and being stupid. Like, there's one of the reels that I made, and it was the one where Tom is sitting on the drum kit looking zonked as fuck. And it's mainly due to the fact that he was up all night, and then he came in to do drums, and he was like sleep deprived. And then I remember we was recording the guitars at the moment, And Jay just caught a little clip of him just being absolutely zonked, and it was like the funniest thing in the world because he's just there like, whatever, and it was very funny. And when he looks at that, any time we get a stupid photo of Tom, he's like, "Yeah, I love that. I love that. Keep that. That's
Nice.
great." We always just take the piss out of each other, so it's great.
Awesome. So would you say that in terms of, obviously you've talked about the lyrics in Fuck Charlie, a lot of the lyrics sort of in a similar vibe, or?
No, I mean, I'd say each song kind of is its own thing, but the general theme is kind of like Laundry and Godzilla are effectively about the same thing, but it's about different perspective. Like Laundry is basically me saying like in a very shitty way, like in the sense of I can't articulate it in a very poetic way of like society as a whole is like we need a trend in a way to get behind a movement of like politicians doing something bad, so we need a movement behind it just to think that and like have that opinion, and like to hate someone, like you need a trend to do it. And it's like I don't like that. Like if someone's a shitty person, they are innately a shitty person. You should not like them because of they're either taking someone's freedom away or they're taking someone's boundaries away or something like that. So it's I just don't like how people I guess need songs or just a movement in general to just do that sort of thing of like hating someone or going against someone when in actuality you should have been doing that from day one.
Yeah.
So that's what that song's about, is basically pointing the finger to the people, the listener, and being like, oh, like look at you, you need like a song to listen to feel fired up, to feel like you actually want to do something and you actually want to be a part of a movement or something like that. And that's basically what that song's about. And then Godzilla is basically it's the same thing, but it's more on the side of like that song was written in the perspective of when you get home at the end of the day and you go on your phone and all you see is like people getting killed in Palestine or people getting killed in Ukraine and stuff like that. And it's just that sort of isolating feeling of like all this stuff is going around you while you're sort of comfortably in your own bed and being safe. You know what I mean? And it's that sort of like, I guess, like it's that sort of alienation of like the world that you're surrounded in, like just being like sort of like, oh, like I'm comfy safe, but like I'm seeing like all this horrible shit online and stuff like that. And that's basically what that song's about. And it's just seeing that and sort of, I don't know, that weird feeling you get of like, oh fuck, like I'm fine, but the world isn't, sort of thing. And that's basically what that song's about.
Nice.
What other songs? Kill the Snitch is about nothing.
Yeah,
it's
the band title song on the self-title.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of, it means nothing. The chorus means nothing. It just genuinely means nothing. It was just sort of, we wrote it and I needed to put words behind it.
It's just like an outburst.
Yeah, pretty much. It means nothing. It is just a means for me to say "Kill the Snitch" live on stage.
Is that where the band name came from as well? It's like
no, the band name came from a video game which I play a lot, and also one of my old friends. He said it one day, and it just sounded cool. Basically, if you play the Outlast Trials, there's a mission where you kill the snitch. And I'd already played the game, and then I was in I think the first rehearsal with Tom. This buddy of ours came along, and he kind of just said it, and we were kind of like, "That's a good name. That's a cool name." You know what I mean? And then basically it just kind of stuck, and we were like, "Okay, well, this is the name, really." And then that's where that name came from, and then "Kill the Snitch," I think, was the first song we wrote with Tom. I mean, me and Jade had previously written the bass and guitar, and then when Tom came along, we wrote everything else with it, and then kind of just happened to be that 3-syllable name fits right where the stabs are in the song. So we were like, fuck it, why not? And then Luna is about the old venue I used to work at.
Oh yeah, I love Luna.
Yeah. It's the old venue I used to work at. And it's just a bittersweet sort of like send off for that song and for that venue in general, because I was in like the later stages of Luna, in the sense of like I was there from I was only there for like a year before it shut down.
Yeah.
And yeah, just a lot of fun memories. I met a lot of cool people. I wouldn't be in the band today. I wouldn't be doing music today if it wasn't for Luna.
Yeah.
Because I only started doing music when I was like, like 22, 23, something like that. But I've been playing guitar since I was 16.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have done all the band stuff. I wouldn't have been doing all this sort of stuff if it wasn't for that place. And I met so many people that were very influential to my sort of music career, as well as towards me personally, like in my own personal life. And yeah, that's basically just, the song is just about being in Luna, and and then the aftermath of what Luna was, pretty much.
Nice.
That's pretty much what the song's about. Like, yeah, that's pretty much all
Cool.
the whole album, pretty much. Yeah.
To go down a tangent that only I'm going to find interesting. When you guys play live,
Yeah.
what, in terms of like equipment, what kind of rig are you using, or are you just plugging into like the house?
I don't know Jade's rig at all.
Yeah,
but my rig is so simple. It is the most B-Tech rig you could. I got a Harley Benton guitar, which is like £100.
Yeah.
And then I got the most expensive thing I own is my Boss tuner, because that's like 100 and whatever the fuck it is. And then I got given a micro metal muff by my mate, and then I bought a very cheap pedal, a reverb pedal called like Space Reverb or some shit. But I only bought it because it has the shimmer effect, and it's like one of my favorite effects ever in the world. And that's the effect you hear on Godzilla when I play it live. And that's it. That's my whole rig. And like, it's literally, I go clean, the tone's scooped all the way down. The distortion's not even that high. It's like 3 o'clock, which is not a high at all. And the volume's at like 1 o'clock. Like, it's so straightforward. It gives you the distortion. I was thinking about adding a chorus effect onto the rig. I do have a bunch of other pedals. Like, I have a delay pedal. I have a wah pedal at home. I don't use them, like, because one, I don't have. If I were to go be using any more than 3 pedals, then I would have to get a rig like what Jade has.
Yeah.
And Jade has like a full pedal board with like fucking like power supply and whatever like that. And I don't know if I'm ready to make that commitment yet. So, but Jade, from what I remember of her pedal board, she has a distortion pedal, she has a fuzz pedal, she has a reverb pedal, she has a synth pedal, which we haven't used, but I would love to find a way to use it.
That.
Like, it has such weird noises,
Yeah.
dude. Like we were fucking around with it the other day. We were like, what the hell? It doesn't even sound like a bass. Like, it's so like out there. She has a preamp and she has a tuner pedal, pretty much, and that's her rig. And then Tom's just the drums.
Yeah.
I don't. It was all gear that we procured places, like cymbals and the snare especially and stuff like that. So yeah. Yeah.
Just fish stuff out.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's that's pretty much the entire setup. Just very straightforward. Obviously the biggest pedal that I use the most is the distortion pedal.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I do use.
So to finish off, what's next for Kill the Snitch? Well, I mean, you kind of already answered that question.
Yeah, I mean, we've written 2 new songs, which is cool. I don't know what the fuck, if that's going to be released, when that's going to be released, or if it's just going to be a part of the album package. Like, I don't know if we're going to do the whole single into like 4 weeks of promoting it into like an album. I kind of like just dropping the album and being like, see you later, boys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I mean, right now we're just trying to get gigs. We're just trying to get a fuck ton of gigs. That's also something I should actually announce it here. We are going to have physical shit for the album.
Yeah.
So this is terrible. They actually are doing us a solid, and I cannot remember their name for the life of me. But they're doing such a solid for us. Grapes of Wrath. They very kindly messaged us, and they're gonna do cassettes for us, like custom cassettes, which is cool. And then Tom managed to find 200 blank CDs and cases at his work, and so he was given it. So I'm going to painstakingly spend many hours burning the album onto these CDs. And they're going to be like £1 each. Like, we got them for free. Like, who cares? You know, we're going to get like a whole custom CD case and shit like that. But in terms of day, yeah, that's pretty much all we got. Yeah. Just try and play as many gigs as possible. Hope maybe, like I would say, like by like maybe March or May, we're probably going to start playing the two new tunes, because I mean it probably won't take us. I mean, actually, it might even take like February. February might be playing the new tunes, because we just write really quickly. So there's that. So apart from that, that's pretty much it. We're just messaging people, maybe trying to get on some festivals. So that'd be cool. Because we got a couple of emails that are very useful to have. But yeah, apart from that, maybe message a record label or something like that. Just try and get signed. We're not even signed, just distribution and like contacts to bigger shows and stuff like that. So, but apart from that, that's pretty much all we're doing.
Yeah.
Just sort of, yeah, just pretty much just trying to go for it and just see what the fuck happens, you know. Yeah.
So is the band? So this is my last question. Is it your main commitment, or do you work outside of it?
Or? So I'm in 2 bands, and then I work in a pub. Pretty much,
Nice.
The pub is very chill, super easy sort of to work at. And then obviously I've got Big Smoke, which is my other hardcore band. It's like a bit more beat down, but I don't like, you know, I'm in it, but it's also like, you know, like it's all like sort of like the bassist kind of writes everything and stuff like that, and so like I don't have to use my brain too much. I kind of just turn up, write some lyrics, scream into a mic, and if everyone gives me the thumbs up, then it's all good. But Kill the Snitch is way more like I have to, you know, write it and like try and get good at playing shit and stuff like that. So pretty much, yeah, it's just balancing between Big Smoke and Kill the Snitch. So some weeks I might be doing Big Smoke stuff, some weeks I might be doing Kill the Snitch stuff. But yeah.
Awesome.
Kill the Snitch is more my sort of like offspring in a way.
Yeah. Nice, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And hopefully we'll see you at a gig or something soon.
I hope we have a gig soon, because we have no gigs. So I've been messaging like crazy all these people to be like, give us a gig, please. Yeah. Please give us a gig. Well, I'll play anything. I don't mind. So yeah,
we'll play the brunch spot.
I would play a cafe. Dude.
Yeah,
like that'd be so sick if I played a cafe.
Yeah,
like I've seen so many bands play. Like Angel Dust played outside of fucking Camden the other day.
Yeah,
well, not the other day. It was like fucking last year, but you know that was sick. I would love to do an outside show. Also, Clobber, they played under the underpass in Hackney. Yeah. That was super sick. Same with like a bunch of other bands.
Didn't Show Me the Body do that thing on like a random bandstand in Blackheath or something?
Yeah. I just love that stuff. People just sort of being like, oh yeah, so we're gonna come and harass your local post office. Yeah. And just like
slightly dubious whether you're allowed to be there.
Well, no, So that's why those sort of things, like they don't tell you where it is until like an hour before the day. Yeah. Because obviously if Instagram or whatever like that catch wind of it, they just shut it down pretty much. Yeah. And then there'll be police there, so they'll just stop it. But like, you know, an hour before, like, funny enough, that Haywire show that was underneath the Hackney bridge, Big Smoke was playing a show in Blondies, and we were like, dude, this is like terrible timing, because everyone's going to go to the Haywire show. Because I was like, I don't blame you. I wanted to be at the Haywire show because it looked so sick. Like, but it was right. It was right. It was a good gig. It was fun. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Awesome.
Well, we've been Heavy Revival, and we'll see you very soon.